Hey, welcome back to the Tommy Trials. I'm not really gonna beat around the bush here. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I did that. So, something's in the game, and if you played Long War, then you already know where I'm going with this. But something's in the game, and in the works for War of the Chosen that I didn't know was in the game for War of the Chosen. So, as you can see, this was posted by Paled Brook 4 days ago. Long War 2 or the Chosen Alpha 5 ready for testing. And there's blah 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 about this. But then if you scroll farther down and you view the entire discussion, and somebody, a forerunner, asks a great question, which you can read if you want to pause it. But the response is what really, I think, is important. And Pillbrook says, in this case, alpha means features still need to be implemented or modified. Beta means that the game is feature complete, and the aim is to fix bugs and balance the game. This is still alpha because we still don't have the Chosen properly integrated. Psyops need a bit of a rework. The faction soldiers need some balancing adjustments, and so on. Although on the basis of the above, the faction soldiers could be balanced in the beta. Hope that helps. Somewhere in this, so on and so forth, they talk about the fact that they hope to have the beta implemented into, or the beta, which they will release on Steam, which is exciting. But if you want to get in on the action now, you can do that. Now, I don't do Reddit, which is why if someone on Discord by the name of Rocknar had not brought it to my attention, he's a great blast to play video games with, and he made the Agrippina rifle, like, from scratch, so he's got some real talent there in regards to 3D modeling and creating stuff. And even all the attachments in the game are made from scratch. I mean, it's not like he took them off from somewhere else and ported it into the game, which still takes talent, which I don't have, but he made his own and then put them into the game. So, pretty cool there. But, back on topic, he brought to my attention on Discord. I would have never known it was being worked on until it popped up in Steam. But if you were to go and play this, then, you know, be sure to read all the stuff. I've already seen, looking through the Reddit, people not reading all the stuff. Now, if you use alternate mod launcher, I'm just going to answer a couple of questions before they're asked. Because I'm certain that somebody's going to wonder, and if you don't already know this, you can skip ahead a little bit, I suppose. But if you're using the alternate mod launcher, you go into your settings, you hit edit, and then you're going to want to use, now the D is a placeholder there, whatever drive you've got it on, so the C, E, whatever, because I mean I've got 3 different drives on my computer. But I've got Steam, D, and then Steam Games, Steam Apps Common. Steam Apps Common, and so forth is where you're going to find it. But usually it's just under Steam. So it's usually like program files, in parentheses, x86, end parentheses, then like Steam, and then Steam Apps Common, XCOM 2, XCOM 2, or the Chosen, XCOM Game, Mods. Because that folder, and if you follow the other instructions, that folder is already going to exist. But if you don't see the mod in the alternate mod launcher, which is, in my opinion, what you need to be using anyways, that's going to help you find it. I saw people asking on Reddit, and again, if you read through Reddit, you're going to see how to do it already. But if you're watching this video and you're going to pull a TLDR, hopefully that's a little helpful there. I'm going to warn you right now, it's pretty late at night, and my brain has not been the sharpest recently. It's just been, for whatever reason, just a little slow in the draw. But, well, that was accurate. I talk about my brain being slow in the draw and then I completely blank out. But I will talk a little bit about Long War 2. The plan currently... Oh, I didn't know that it went all the way around. Look at that. The plan currently is to do a clones playthrough using Poncho's new mod. I'm working on a trailer for it. I already teased that in the way of a GIF, whatever it's called, in the community tab. But if you didn't see that, I am working on a trailer for that. Go away. Go away. Go away. There we go. So, I'm going to tell you right now, if you've never played Long War before. It's a great enjoyment, but it is long. I mean, it got the name for a reason. There are incredibly helpful things that Pavonis put into the game that they, thank goodness, sent over. They ported over everything. It works really well so far. So it's super exciting that they're moving it over to War of the Chosen after all this time. But if you've never played Long War 2 before and you discovered the game, because there are people who have kindly commented below, discovered the game through, somebody just recently commented this, that they discovered XCOM 2 through Dim's mod for the Space Marines and my videos, which is incredibly awesome. I'm glad that I was able to introduce that stuff to you. But that means that they've never played Long War 2, more than likely, unless they went back and played vanilla. There are people who never played the vanilla version of XCOM 2. They didn't start playing XCOM 2 until War of the Chosen came out, and when they bought it so that they could play, you know, the upgraded version, more or less. And in that case, that means you never played it. Read these. When I play through, I will probably read these in videos to help answer questions before they're asked, and also to give me a kind of refresher, for lack of a better term. But everything takes longer, obviously. And there are some things in Long War that are monumentally different from vanilla. For example, you're going to skip missions, which in vanilla is like a big ol' but in Long War, it's pretty common. So what happens is you've got your different areas, just like in vanilla, and in each area...
Course for East Asia.
Didn't mean to do that. In each area, you've got your haven management. So you can put an advisor. It can either be a soldier, squatty, or higher, an engineer, or a scientist, and they all provide different bonuses that you can read about, or we'll talk about when we actually do a Long War series. But for those who have been asking for the clones to return, they will, more than likely, in the form of the clone, in the form of a Long War playthrough. So we'll keep the Space Marines, we'll do a Long War playthrough. That will be clones, so we can have the best of both worlds there. That won't start until after the trailer comes out for the clones. Just as an FYI there. I might record a video, but it probably won't start. It might, but it probably won't. Any Hoosers, you have the option to put your resistance operatives in one of 4 different roles. Either they can gather supplies, they can work on recruiting soldiers, and more importantly, more operatives, if that's the correct word, more operatives for the specific haven is typically what they're going to work on recruiting. Or they can work on intel. Intel gets you the intel resource as well as intel on missions or hiding. And hiding is when you're trying not to get Advent's attention. When you're trying to not get Advent's attention, that's what you use when they're hiding. But intel also gives you heads up on potential missions earlier, so you can send your troops in to infiltrate sooner. So as you can see, I've got the 21st Nova Corps working on infiltrating at this Extract VIP mission, and I've got the 104th Battalion working on infiltrating for the Jailbreak. You've got things like choosing how many soldiers you want to send, specifically what gear they want to take as well, because the more gear they have, the longer it's going to take them to infiltrate, the more attachments they've got on their weapons. Excuse me. Okay, choked a little. That's alright. We're okay. Even the attachments that they've got on their weapons can potentially add to how long an infiltration will take. And, you know, you might say, well, I'll just take a full squad. I don't care what the infiltration is at. Well, the less infiltrated you get, the more soldiers that aren't friendly will show up on the battlefield that are not going to be nice. There's a ton of new mission types. My brain, it's gone. I'm so sorry. There's a ton of new mission types, like the Extract VIP. That's pretty normal. The Jailbreak is new to Long War, so I mean, if you played Long War, then it's not new. You always start out with
Avenger
the
plotting new
Black
course.
Market. The Black Market is significantly different from vanilla XCOM in the form that you pay supplies to get things instead of, which makes a lot more sense as compared to paying intel. Because I mean, yeah, information is worth stuff sometimes, but it was always kind of weird that, you know, you could sell stuff and they'd give you supplies, not intel. But if you wanted to buy something, you had to pay with knowledge, not with supplies. It never did quite make sense. Now, it's important to read and look at what mods are compatible. I'm still using a fairly large number. We can actually see how many I'm using. I mean, I'm still using 61. I've got 263. I turned off a lot of them. Your cosmetic mods aren't going to cause any problems.
Hello, Commander.
Weapon mods made for War of the Chosen specifically, and not for Long War of the Chosen, or Long War 2 / War of the Chosen, probably aren't going to work. The reason
Tigan seems to
being...
have a habit of scratching that scar on the back of
No,
his head.
you shush up.
I wonder if anyone...
Shush up. Thank you. The reason being... the weapon mods certainly work. So, for example, Poncho's new Imperial weapon mod they just released, which has got the DLT 19 heavy blaster, or the one that will release.
Never really had time to consider the possibility, but I have to believe.
Shut up. Or the clone mod, the clone weapon mod that will release at the same time as the clone armory. Or maybe it'll be all one mod. I don't know. I think it'll be two separate ones in case people don't want the new clones, but they don't want the new weapons. I'm pretty sure is what he's going to do for people. But they work right now. But the way that Long War works, I had to catch up with myself again. You buy each weapon individually, which means that I don't think past tier 1 any of the standard War of the Chosen weapon mods will work. That doesn't mean that they will or they won't. I just don't think that they will. That's my guess. All the cosmetic mods are going to work just fine. Quite a few ease of life, quality of life mods, QOL mods work just fine. Some of the QOL mods are implemented directly into the mod. So, for example, one of my favorite mods, Rebel Jumper Squad Select, 4 of the Chosen, implemented into the mod. You don't need it, which is really nice. One other thing is, I believe Long War 2 for vanilla XCOM used a special Highlander, whereas this version of Long War utilizes the community Highlander, which means, in theory, which I've not tried it yet, but in theory, the Space Marine armor gonna work just fine. I've not tried it, but I assume, because I'm pretty sure the armor is still squad upgrades, but I don't remember. I don't think you've got to buy each armor individually for each soldier. I don't remember. But yeah, we'll get there when we get there. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and go back
Setting
down to
course
the
for
Templar
Sector
HQ.
14, East Asia.
Of course, using the story mission that introduces you to the Lost and stuff is a no-no. You don't do that because it will crash the game. So this is where stuff gets different, because enemy readiness is normal. They're not. I can't think of the word. There's a word for when they're less ready than just normal. But when you're in the 100% infiltrated range, it's going to be normal. I'm going to... Return to Avenger. That's the button that I wanted there. I want to just leave them... So once you run out of time, you've only got the option to boost infiltration, view the squad, which I've got Wolf, Shadow, Boost, Fi, and Sinker. Just random names, and then Boost and Sinker, of course, are real named clones that are going to be in the mod. I'm going to abort the silly thing.
Ranger deployed.
They're all here. We'll be home in a jiffy.
And then you lose the ability to be able to do the mission. But that's because I want to do the one with the Nova Corps. Vulnerable. That's the word that I wanted. Because we were able to infiltrate for a little bit longer, and the enemy activity is a little lighter, we can launch the mission. So you might think, well, that's a lot of changes just to the Avenger tactical side of things. There's also quite a few changes to the tactical end of fighting. And I didn't even touch on everything that's changed.
Moving a VIP through this area on board one of their transport trucks, and the Resistance is asking for our help staging a rescue operation. The target will be well defended. Be prepared to secure the area and eliminate any hostiles to expedite the rescue.
So, obviously, your pre-mission area loading screen's not going to be in the Sky Ranger because that's not what's being used. Now, none of the clone weapons have flashlights, but if all of their weapons had flashlights, they'd be showing the SMG's the standard weapon. But otherwise, we'd have flashlights turned on and stuff. Apparently, this is probably going to be a night mission by the looks of it. Let's do it.
Menace 1-5, we have a confirmed location for the VIP. Move to rendezvous. Eliminate all hostile contacts.
So there's always a chance of reinforcements. Like, there's like 3 different levels of alerts. Like right now it's green, so it's very unlikely. And then I think there's yellow, like reinforcements on the way, and then reinforcements imminent, stuff like that. But there's even changes to on this map. So for example, a lot of people have considerably less health, but they do have the 2 points of ablative, I think is the name, like shielding, where if they just take 2 points of damage, they're not hurt, but they're probably gonna die if they take more than 1 hit. As far as mods like the RPG overhaul mod, I think the answer is it will mostly work, but there are a couple of issues, being that there are tons of abilities that work with pistols that will not work with pistols moving forward, because in Long War, pistols are an item, not a weapon. So that can be a problem. And also with other mods that add other pistols, they probably won't work, or they'll only work if you got a sniper, because pistols are items in Long War, not secondary weapons. So there'll probably be mods made over time to fix some of that stuff. I don't know how much, of course. That's not something that I'm going to be familiar with.
Move forward!
But I know I've kind of rattled on, and I'm
Roger, roger.
trying to
Like we drilled, go!
trying to decide how much of this fight I'm gonna do here.
Let's go!
Because I mean, those who have played Long War are gonna be excited and just gonna go get Long War. They're not gonna bother watching this video.
Let's have some fun.
So you know what? I think I'll go ahead and wrap up the video here. I'll talk a lot more about Long War when I start playing Long War for realsies. But I just kind of want to show it in practice, in case you saw it and went, well, I don't want to touch it till it's in beta. Which, you know, if you don't want to touch it till it's in beta, at that point, which by the looks of things, from what I read, it looks like they're hoping to get it into beta 3 to 4 weeks from now. So roughly a month from now, in which case when they implement it into beta, their plan is also to put it on Steam, which means all you've got to do is click subscribe. make sure you read the description to make sure that if you've got any mods that are going to conflict or something, that hopefully you don't do that. But if you want to play it now, you can. I was going to talk about it in the live stream because this video is being recorded late Thursday night, so it should go up sometime on Friday. There will be a live stream today, or at least there should be a live stream today. Knock on wood for that. But of course, keep an eye on the channel. We're going to be doing a trailer for the lovely, lovely clones. Let's see. Let's take a look at them. We're going to be doing a trailer for these epic clones. And then, of course... Oh. Huh. I don't know what any of that means. Anyhow. Did I not? Oh, I just toggle unlimited. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. Anyway, keep an eye on the channel because we're going to be doing a trailer for these clones. It's actually very, very exciting because when these clones release, then they will we'll be able to have all these different, and there's tons of them, all these different clone battalions and troopers, and tons of customization usually within each group. So, you know, you've seen it on the channel already. There's tons of variation within the 212th, 501st, 104th, and then we've got people like the almost completely tintable Galactic Marine. So I mean, if you want a blue one or a pink one, you can do that. It's totally up to you. You don't have to worry about any particular game publishers telling you can't do something because it's outside of the canon of Star Wars. Still a little bitter about that, but that's besides the point, of course. So if you enjoyed the video, if you're excited about Long War 2, please like the video. If you want to see more Long War 2, more clones, more Space Marines, then please consider subscribing. Actually, this is the second time I've recorded this video because the first time I recorded it, I was more over the place than I already am in this video. I apologize. I could have waited to make this video at a later time, but I saw it, and I figured there are a lot of people that watch this video or watch this channel for mods, and you're gonna wanna know these things. So I figured I would share it with you all as quickly as possible. A big shout out to everyone involved with the development of this mod. I just don't know who they are besides Paled Brook. I suppose I could have searched the depths of Reddit and found out all this information, but I don't know, sadly. But in case you're curious what I'm using the Better Debug mod. What am I? You make a noise? Huh. Well, we've all learned something new today, I suppose. So, if you did enjoy the video, please, of course, consider subscribing and liking it. Comment below if you're really excited about the clones, or, you know, potentially being able to use Dim's Space Marine mod, assuming it works, which I have no idea if it works or not. But that's something I will test at a later date and see. If you want to see a Long War 2 playthrough on this channel, specifically Long War 2 for War of the Chosen, have no fear, it's probably going to happen. Although, warning now, probably when they update the mod, implement it into beta, then update it from there, there may be times where I've got to start a particular playthrough over. So we might hold off, I don't know. Or we might not, and we might just start the series knowing that we might have to restart the series, for lack of a better term, potentially multiple times, which is going to be really nice if, like, we've got a character that gets shot or something. I'm rambling at this point, so I hope that you guys have a great day. If you are watching this on Friday the 12th, or any Friday, then be sure to keep an eye out because we're probably going to be streaming, and it's probably going to be XCOM most of the time. So until next time, guys, Jake Hardy.